My apologies for that. Following our work session at 5, at 6:30, we'll have a Community Development Renewal Agency meeting for about 30 minutes, and we'll have our regular business meeting for the night starting at 7 p.m. Before we get started, I think there's our audience deserves a clarification of our agenda. So, I don't know, I can have some help in that, but I understand many of you are here because you've seen on the news that, I think it's Channel 2, right, Dan?
Mm-hmm. I have the report too.
Channel 2 announced that there would be a public hearing, a public comment on the Wasatch Boulevard Master Plan. We know nothing about that being scheduled tonight. They didn't check with us. They proceeded on their own. So, Dan, you've had that conversation with them, I assume?
And just now another station, just minutes ago.
Yeah. And Mike. Okay, Mike, our city planner, and maybe just out of courtesy to you, we can let you know that it is something that's progressing. UDOT, as part of their EIS study with Wasatch Boulevard from Little Cottonwood Canyon all the way to 600 South, they've extended their timetable a little bit. Therefore, we're taking a little bit of time to do our due diligence, and there's a few tweaks and adjustments that we're looking at, and that'll be happening. Do you have a time frame you're thinking?
The discussion's ongoing about the plan itself. We're planning to bring it back to the mayor and council just as a discussion item sometime soon, but yeah, we're still working on it.
We don't have a set date yet. It is posted online, correct?
The draft plan is there.
The draft plan's online. You're all welcome to look at it. So I apologize if you're here. You're welcome to stay. We have some other exciting items here. We have Rocky Mountain Power here, and she's excited to talk about sustainability, and ADU is on the agenda, and we have our newly elected representative, Marie Polson's here, so welcome and congratulations. So with that introduction, we'll proceed with our agenda, and you're welcome to stay later for other meetings as well. We'll turn the time now to Dan and our public relations report.
Okay. The report of question is here, and I'll play that.
Okay.
In years, it's set to be voted on in less than 24 hours. It is called the Wasatch Boulevard Master Plan. It stretches between the Cottonwood Canyons with a big retail residential area at the now gravel pit. It's located there right off of I-215. Jim Spiewak found out that this project is actually split into 4 sections. How does this work exactly?
So it's going to be in several sections, like you said. Some of it is going to be to remove medians like the one I'm standing on to expand roadways. Another section is going to be to include new businesses all up and down like the one you see behind me, residential units. And this is going to span for miles.
Ski is certainly the majority of the business.
Owning a business at the mouth of Big Cottonwood Canyon.
Right now, the gravel pit's really ugly, so I am looking forward to a little bit of change there.
Chris Comitro and his brother just bought a new place for their business, the Gear Room, to buy and sell ski and climbing equipment. They're in the heartbeat of what could be Cottonwood Heights' next big boom.
A lot of us live here to be in the mountains, and we don't necessarily want sky-rise buildings here, but it would be nice to have a place where we can, grab a bite to eat, go to a local ski shop, and talk to guys who ski the mountain regularly.
Tomorrow, the Cottonwood Heights City Council will vote on a plan to build just that. The Wasatch Boulevard Master Plan is divided into 4 sections, stretching from Big Cottonwood Canyon south to Little Cottonwood Canyon.
Yeah, it's good for business, and it's kind of bittersweet in that it might be kind of tough on the environment.
The plan calls for 100 acres where the gravel pit sits to become a mixed use of 3,000 residential units, office space, and retail stores. More trails will be accessible. A new transit center would be a hub for shared canyon travel, and parts of Wasatch Boulevard will be widened in several areas.
When it's a powder day, there's a million people trying to get up the canyons, and it's really tough.
Council members will go through the final specifics of the plan on Tuesday. And I'm standing in one of those park and rides that, if this draft comes to fruition, will be expanded. You'll see a lot more parking spaces like that all up and down the area. This meeting takes place starting at 5 o'clock tomorrow over at Cottonwood City Hall. It is open to the public as they are looking for public input. Guys,
we're here.
I'll I haven't seen the video yet, but probably 10% of that is accurate. When they advertise it as the largest development the Valley's seen in years, this isn't a development at all. This is a long-range plan so that we're ready when proposals do come in for development. This is a way we can plan for the future of not only the gravel pit, but the rest of the Wasatch Corridor itself. So this is just a guiding document that allows city leadership to have a vision for what that area of the city is moving forward. But even a lot of the details that were mentioned in that video are not accurate and not reflected in the final recommendation of the draft plan itself. So I guess the mayor and council, I would suggest that if we get calls on this, please send them staff's direction. We're happy to have a conversation and try to explain exactly what the role of this plan is. But certainly this does not approve any buildings to be constructed, any specific developments, really any construction at all. It's just a guiding document that we can use as a tool moving forward.
If again, you can share with those in attendance where they can review the current draft.
Yeah, so on the Cottonwood City website, there's a community development page. It's being shown on the screen. It says under City Services and Community Development. There is a link for Wasatch Boulevard Master Plan Study, just right there in the middle of the page. You can click on that. That will take you to a new web page. This summarizes the process we've been through so far. The city received a grant in 2017 and began this master plan long-range study fall of 2017 and held multiple open houses to get public feedback. And there is a draft plan there available as well.
I also add, we spoke with the staff and the reporter and just asked in the future they'd contact us before they run a story so they can get, at least just for accuracy's sake, the times of the meetings, because this is a big meeting. It starts another call from another media outlet just prior, just a few minutes before this meeting about the same subject. So hopefully we can get that straight.
All right, thank you. And again, our apologies to you as the audience. We will be coming up. I encourage you to go online and look at the draft. If you have comments, contact our planning department and make sure they're shared, or anyone of the council or myself. Thank you. Okay, Shannon, go ahead.
Is showing the moments when people scaled down the side of a building to escape an early morning fire at a Cottonwood Heights apartment complex. That's where we go live now to Jim Spiewak. And Jim, do we know at this point what caused the fire?
So firefighters are telling me that it was accidentally started. It wasn't intentional or malicious. This was not arson, but they do know that it was human caused. I want to point your attention to the light just over my shoulder in that breezeway. It's on the other side of that building where there are 4 units that are severely burned, and that's where all of those people narrowly escaped. The ground cold enough to freeze water, yet...
And I was standing in my pajamas barefoot, and it was so hot that I wasn't cold at 3 in the morning, and 35 degrees outside.
And bright enough to wake up neighbor Carly Furlong, who immediately started capturing the growing flames.
It was seconds that it went from me seeing it through the window of the flames to completely engulfing out the balcony.
The quickly growing fire forced the person on the second floor to scale down the side of the building. The person on the top floor started hopping the rail.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. They were trying to literally jump off their balconies because the fire was going so fast.
In all, 4 units got burned. Firefighters say the woman in the unit where the fire started suffered serious injuries. People from the other units got down just in time.
I immediately threw them blankets and threw them sweats, and we all just came together as an apartment complex.
On one of the scariest days this neighbor has ever lived through.
You're frozen. I was in shock of complete disbelief that this is that you're watching.
Now, a couple dozen of those people that were evacuated earlier, they were able to return at about 5 o'clock this afternoon. Restoration and cleanup crews, they have the rest of those units boarded up. And neighbors tell me that the Red Cross, they made a temporary shelter for those folks that are displaced, at least for now, and they've put them up in a hotel, at least for the night. Guys?
Good evening.
Sorry about that.
Mike?
Chief?
Comments?
So Company 110 was first in. There's another video that actually shows them laddering the balcony, the upper balcony, for that resident. The resident who was injured, those were inhalation injuries, and she was transferred to IMC initially, and then as her respiratory condition worsened, she was intubated and flown to UMed. So 2 apartments damaged quite significantly by fire, and 2 more that were damaged by water from the suppression efforts. Red Cross had the responsible party open up the clubhouse initially for temporary sheltering, and then they worked out some lodging for folks who couldn't get back into their apartments for the first night or 2.
Well, kudos to you and our firefighters for being there and timely. I thought it was interesting when I read in the Desert News the following day that I guess the female who had called dispatch immediately advised her, get out, get out, get out. But she couldn't get out. And I guess Mr. Barnes, who's the representative, said that it was not immediately known whether the woman was disoriented or had a disability that prevented her from evacuating. Barnes said, fortunately, Cottonwood Heights police arrived at the complex in under 5 minutes and helped the woman get out. So, Robbie, kudos to you guys as well for potentially saving lives, and we appreciate that. So.
Yeah, the PD has always been awesome in knowing what we need as far as blocking streets and doing walk-arounds or drive-arounds and giving us more information as we arrive, and we really appreciate it. It helps us a bunch. So we had engine 110 there, both Midvale units were there, 125, 126, 2 units from Sandy, 32 and 35, engines 81 and 82 from Murray, and then our heavy rescue 117, we had 2 battalion chiefs there. Sandy had a battalion chief there, and Murray had a battalion chief there.
I guess the potential of that fire could have been more disastrous than we could ever imagine, just by understanding Santa Fe apartments in that whole complex.
Do you want to talk about that tweet?
No,
Okay.
it's been taken care of, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, excellent. That's,
All right.
it was,
Thank you to our public safety. Yeah.
thank you. And it was very much covered by every station, lead story in the morning and part of the next day, so that was a pretty big deal.
10 years, 1 month, and 7 days. A Utah woman feels the pain of every passing day she's lived without her daughter.
The 13-year-old burned to death in a distracted driving crash while they were living in Florida. On the eve of her daughter's favorite holiday, Halloween, News Specialist Caitlin Burchill shares her mother's plea with the public.
They're hanging on the wall now with lots of other things.
Following Elisa Blankett's ski around her Cottonwood Heights home,
And I should show you this bathroom too.
is like chasing a rainbow.
Express your opinion.
Don't change for anyone.
Music matters. Love and cherish everything you have.
Bold,
I hope this life
bright.
will be the best.
You can't take your eyes off the colors.
And she wrote this.
But the decorations are all just a cover
So let's go to her room.
for the darkness she feels every day.
Outside world can be very gray. It can be very ugly. But inside my home and inside of my heart has to be happy for her.
Elisa's vibrant daughter, 13-year-old Margay Ski,
All right, and then let me show you.
was killed
Margay is right here.
1 decade ago
She's right here, over the wheel well, in the back of the bus.
when her bright yellow school bus was rear-ended
There are a lot of distractions in a car.
by a distracted semi-truck driver.
Your phone does not need to be one of them.
Watching what people do behind the wheel
You do not want to walk in my shoes.
makes Elisa see
You
red.
don't want to walk in her brother's shoes. You don't want to walk in anybody's shoes that loved her. The only thing that came off the bus that belonged to her, which was her school identification card.
For Lisa, it's so black and white.
Probably once a month at least.
Watch the road.
I never imagined that 10 years later, things would actually be so much worse. No calls, no text, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram.
She doesn't want any other families to feel this kind of blue.
She was not a number. She was a little human being with a humongous future ahead of her. Humongous. You want to carry your kid around with you in your purse? Is that phone call worth carrying your child around in your purse?
Now, anytime she sees a rainbow,
So it was a double.
it's a reminder
2 hours later.
who took her sunshine
Yeah.
away.
She went to school and she never came home. I was never able to say goodbye. I was not allowed to see her. She just, poof, she's gone.
In Cottonwood Heights, Caitlin Burchell, KSL 5 News.
Caitlin, thank you. We have breaking news tonight in Roy.
Just a sad story, and she's one of our residents, and she's had a pretty active campaign against distracted driving, and she's been a bit advocate against of her campaigns against that. I actually spoke with the city journals about maybe them doing a little focus on her as well, so I spoke to the editor about that. Hopefully they will. That's we're really happy when our residents are engaged in a good cause.
Well, the journal's here, so again, we appreciate that. Robbie, comment?
No, I've met her before, and we've done some projects along with her and put out our stickers. She used to, you'll know her from the legislature because she used to wear a prison outfit, remember? And lobby for, distracted driving laws and stuff. Nice lady, terrible situation, so.
All right, thank you.
Just one more report. That's a crime story. I know it's very short.
Right now, Cottonwood Heights Police hoping that you can help them track down 2 people who keep seeming to get away from them. Kenneth Allen Peterson is wanted on an extensive list of felony warrants and has been seen driving around with another man who police have not yet been able to identify. The 2 were last seen in this 2008 Infiniti G35. Now, police say Allen should be considered dangerous. If you see him or the other man, and maybe you know who he is, officers would like to hear from you.
Senator Trump is out.
Thanks. All right, that's all the media reports that we have. Do you have something to add to that?
No, I think they caught him, so.
Okay, thanks. All right, that's what we have there. Today is the deadline for the newsletter content. We hope to get all that to our designer by tonight. Appreciate everyone's effort to get that out soon. The deadline to get it back to them is pretty tight, so we just have a week to get that put together. I appreciate everyone's efforts to do that, so I think we have everything we have planned for.
So that's, I think Tally has this article. Who's next?
That would be,
Right here.
yes,
Am I right?
Councilmember Michael, for the January, which will be due on the second week of December, which I can give the exact date. That will be December the 11th. Same kind of quick turnaround there too because of the holiday, so we appreciate everyone's efforts in that. And then Chief, that's for you as well, December 11th. Thank you. That's all I have. Any questions?
Okay. All right, thank you. Personal privilege, I apologize. I should have welcomed Scott to the table today. Welcome, our new finance director. Appreciate it. And I talked to him several times during the week, and he's being fed with a fire hose, but working hard, so welcome. All right, looking at your agenda, we have a review of business meeting agenda as the next item, but also we have CDRA agenda as well. So let's look, and if you turn the page on your CDRA agenda, we have a couple action items that we need to approve. Shane, do you want to go through these? Because I'm sure you'll articulate it better than I do, but I won't do it.
I'd be happy to. With the transition in the city manager position and the finance director position, we need to appoint those individuals, or we need to appoint replacements as the CDRA's chief executive officer, which traditionally has been the city individual as a city manager, and then we need to have a treasurer, which traditionally has been the city's finance director. And so the resolution 2018-06 appoints Tim Tingey as the agency's chief executive officer and Scott Jurgis as the agency's treasurer. And then we just ratify and confirm all the other offices. There are no other changes from the last time this was done. The other resolution is 2018-07, and the purpose of this resolution is to comply with a state statute that requires a CDRA to the CDRA board to authorize preparation of an amendment to a previously adopted project area plan. And so